The severity and the breadth of the damage that we are seeing has not been experienced in a generation.
The scale of the flooding across the North Island is staggering. As New Zealand comes to terms with its cruel summer, the hits keep coming. A magnitude 6.1 quake struck near Wellington last night. Thankfully, there were no reports of damage or injury. The country reeling after the death of 5 people in the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Gabrielle.
The grief of their families and loved ones will be unimaginable.
With more than 10,000 people displaced and around 3,500 unaccounted for, authorities hold grave concerns for those missing.
We, thankfully, are through the worst of the storm, but we're not out of danger yet.
Beyond the human cost, the destruction of roads, bridges, homes and farms.
The beds, the linen, the clothes, the couches, everything inside is ruined.
This doesn't compare with anything. This is just over the top.
Just weeks ago, a massive storm slammed into Auckland, causing devastating flooding and leaving 4 people dead. Landslides trapping others inside their homes.
The first thing that comes into your head is, oh my God, the kids are dead. They're under all of that stuff.
Everything was
just covered in mud, basically.
I couldn't figure out my bearings. The house was different. Everything was pitch black.
Authorities have declared a state of emergency, requesting urgent assistance from Australia as the mammoth road to recovery lies ahead.
All the houses were flooded up to the guttering. Total devastation, so livelihoods lost. What do you say, really? It's heartbreaking.
Tova O'Brien is a New Zealand journalist who joins us now from Auckland. Tova, any one of these events would be really hard to deal with, and you've had 3 in no time. How are New Zealanders feeling?
I think there's just a real compounding sense of anxiety and fear, and I think particularly with Cyclone Gabrielle, because we've still got entire regions of the country that have been cut off, so there's this kind of uncertainty on top of uncertainty and fear on top of fear, and we're tipping now as well into a slight a frustration, a pivot point of frustration too, rightly so. People are starting to get a bit angry as well, waiting, wanting to know why they're not being reconnected to the rest of the country. I think everyone's kind of at their final tethers, but still amazing, as there always are in these crises, amazing stories of resilience and community and a kind of country uniting. So there are small silver linings.
Tova, it feels like almost every hour there's something new that you're finding out. Is the focus on the clean-up and how long that's going to take, or is there still a sense of trying to assess what's happened and get your head around the damage that's been done?
So there's still just so many unanswered questions, and as you say, 100% right, hour by hour we're unearthing the scale of this thing. Hour by hour it is getting more enormous, and hour by hour it is getting more frightening as well because of what we don't know, and I think that unaccounted for number is terrifying. We've already got 5 people dead as a result of Cyclone Gabrielle. That number it's inevitable that it will rise.
We've seen that natural disasters can make or break a leader. New PM Chris Hipkins is only a few weeks into his brand new job. How do you think he's going?
Isn't that remarkable? I looked up the date that he was appointed Prime Minister. 3 weeks and 1 day today, and dealing with this extraordinary disaster, a once-in-a-generation storm, cyclone here in New Zealand, natural disaster. We've seen, make or break Prime Ministers. Jacinda Ardern, it was the crises were the thing that maketh her leadership, but we also know that crises can taketh away. And right now, Chris Hipkins is actually doing a phenomenal job as Prime Minister. He was our COVID response minister alongside Jacinda Ardern, so he is well versed in crisis management. But as I say, there is this frustration starting to seep in. Why aren't people being reconnected yet? Why has New Zealand's resilience not been built in? Why is the infrastructure so poor? Our energy, our communications, our roading networks just absolutely obliterated in this cyclone. And so a lot of questions there which could pivot this. This could go one of 2 very different ways for Chris Hipkins as a freshly minted Prime Minister.
Tova, I hope the unknowns become known soon and that the news is good. We're all thinking of you. Thank you so much for speaking to us tonight.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you as well to Australia for sending the cavalry in to support us as well. That's hugely appreciated.
No worries. We arranged that, just so you know. That was a project special.
We're still keeping Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I knew it was you guys.
Yeah.